And good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me for a live solo playthrough of The Anarchy, designed by Bobby Hill, published by Garfield Games. And if you want to know how to play the game, I've done a how to play video on this game. Today, we're just going to be doing a playthrough of the game. So I'm not going to be teaching you the rules. You will get an idea of how it plays from watching me play. But yes, I'm not going to be doing the teaching because I've already done that. I have a how to play video for this game on the channel from a couple of weeks ago. And if you like this playthrough and you want to go and learn how to play, then that's the video to do it. Hopefully you can hear me. Thank you, James, for letting me know the AV is good. First question, though, are we going to do the campaign? This is up to you. So there's a couple of options with this game. When you're playing it solo, there is a... Where's the rulebook gone? I've lost the rulebook. Great. Cancel the stream. We've lost the rulebook. No. Yeah. Anyway, there's a few ways to play this game. First of all, there is the standard mode where we have enemy castles that we can attack. Or we can have siege mode where there are not enemy castles to attack, but the attack on our castle is a lot stronger. Or there's the campaign. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open the vote now. And what you need to do is put something in the chat. Either put castles or siege or campaign. Use one of those three words. So castles, if you want me to attack enemy castles. Siege, if you just want me to defend my own castle, which is slightly less rules, but is really hard because the numbers are bigger. Or campaign. If you want me to start the campaign, put the word campaign. I will look for the rule book. I'm going to have a drink of water and we'll see what people say. I literally had it a minute ago. Right, it's in the bottom of the box, underneath all of the pieces. Why would I do that? Blame Loki. Blame Loki. Right, how are things looking? While the votes are coming in, just a couple of things before we start. This is not a sponsored playthrough video. So the how to play video that I did was sponsored. Garfield Games paid for that. So thank you very much to Garfield Games for that. Today's playthrough is not sponsored. And all of the advertising revenue from this video goes to charity. So essentially, I've taken the afternoon off from my day job of making board game videos to make board game videos. But yeah, not sponsored today. All of the advertising revenue goes to charity. This is in fact the second of, I think, 9 or 10 live streams over a 4-day period. And they're all funded through Patreon. None of them are sponsored. So a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters for making this possible. And if you want to support the channel and help me continue to do what I do, which is lots and lots of live streams of games that are not being paid for, then you can support me at patreon.com/gaming rules. You also get to vote on some of the games that I'm playing. So, sneak preview, tomorrow I'm going to be playing Terraforming Mars, the new Automata mode, and I'm going to be playing Marrakesh solo. Both of those were voted on by Patreon supporters. So if you are one of my Patreon supporters, usually at producer level or higher, you do get a vote on what I'm going to be playing on the channel. Right, how is it looking for the numbers? I can see campaign, campaign, castles, campaign, siege, campaign. Okay, I think the results are pretty conclusive. Yes, Fran. Okay, we're going to be playing the campaign. Now, I did speak to Bobby Hill, the designer of the game, and he says start with the campaign. The reason why I was thinking of not starting with the campaign is I kind of wanted to show you what the solo mode has, but the votes are in. The people have spoken, so we are going to be playing through the campaign mode today. I will highlight what is going to be different, and I've never played the campaign mode. I know that this book exists, so we will see how we get on. So, what we have. Welcome to the solo campaign. This book contains 20 unique scenarios, each known as a chapter. While they have been designed to be played in order, you can actually play any one of them as a one-off game. So it's a campaign, but I don't believe things carry on from one to the next. Or maybe they do. Okay, maybe they do. But anyway, you can play one of them as a standalone mode. When starting a new chapter, be sure to read the introduction. So we're going to have story time with Paul and follow the unique setup instructions. As with the regular scenarios, each chapter will indicate which 5 scenario cards need to be placed on the main board, which I've got sideways, just so that I can zoom in a little bit more. And every chapter will instruct you to remove certain path cards from the draw pile. Okay, these are the path cards. Just want to make sure I've got the right number. Should be 25. There doesn't look to be 25 there. I've got 15. Right, I've lost 10 of the pack cards. That's not a good start. Again, blame Loki. Always blame Loki. We might need those. We might need those. Where are the rest of the path cards? Have they accidentally got mixed in with these? They have. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, we haven't lost any components. Okay. Also take note of anything listed as other changes. This might start you off with extra workers, pre-filled boxes, or other variables. Okay. There are some path cards and attack cards that must be removed for all chapters. These are referred to as common cards. So, common cards to remove for all chapters. Right. The Advocate, the Emissary, and 1 Catapult and a Trebuchet. So, how many people who are watching live have played this game? And out of those people, how many have played the campaign? I have only played this game twice before. I played it once at 3-player using the normal scenario where you attack enemy castles. And I played 4-player siege mode. Both of those were on the easy difficulty setting, but trust me, for your first game of it, you definitely want to be playing on the easy mode. What was the other one? The Emissary. Right, Advocate and Emissary. So they're gone. And we also need to remove 1 Catapult and 1 Trebuchet. So that must be from the attack cards. What did I do with the attack cards? Okay, final Escalade card. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so a Catapult and a Trebuchet. I think I know what they look like. So that's... Wonder why that is. There's a Catapult. And there's a Trebuchet. Trebuchet is one of my favourite words. It's just a great word. Like shenanigans. Shenanigans is also a great word. There's a Catapult. There's another Catapult. There's a Trebuchet. Right, okay, well that's good to know. So then there are four Catapults. And there are 2 Trebuchets. Now, are these the same? Okay, they are. So that's good. Right, so we're going to remove one of those. And are these the same? Yes, they are. Right, we're removing one of those as well. And then we need to give these a good shuffle back in there. Okay, each chapter will provide victory requirements and a bonus goal. In order to win a chapter, you must meet all of its victory requirements. There are a number of these that might require you to attack every enemy castle or to take no discontent at any point. Wow. These conditions mean that your game could end in defeat before the end of round 5. Okay, so it may be a short stream today. The bonus goals are an extra target that you can aim for. You only qualify for a bonus goal if you first succeed at the victory requirements. If you do achieve a bonus goal, then you get a bonus reward for your next game. This is a one-time benefit. If you lose your next game and decide to restart the chapter, you have lost that bonus reward. If you win a chapter, you should move on to the next chapter. If you lose a chapter, you can either move on to the next chapter or restart the same chapter to try again. And even if you win a chapter but fail the bonus goal, you might choose to re-chapter again to get the bonus. So the way that I would do this, if I was ever playing this whole campaign, which I'd love to do, but I can't see me finding the time to play 20 individual games of this. But the way I would do it is I would always move on to the next chapter. I would play through the 20, I would give myself 1 point for a win, and then I would see what my score is out of 20. And that's because I'm not the kind of person that likes to replay scenarios. I'm a big believer in fail-forward campaign games where you don't have to constantly replay the same scenario in order to get past it. I just don't like that anymore. Right, are we ready? Introduction. At the end of November 1135, Henry I became gravely ill. Although a physician had warned him about the excessive consumption of lamprey, his love of the favourite dish had apparently felled the King of England, and on December 1st, he passed away. In life, Henry was known to be ruthless and a somewhat uncompromising man, but for a large part of his reign, England was relatively peaceful. That peace was now under threat, as the king had died without leaving a male heir to take his place on the throne. Unfortunately, his only legitimate son had drowned 15 years earlier as a casualty of the White Ship disaster, Google it if you want to know more. However, Henry did have another child, a daughter named Matilda. She was married to Geoffrey Plantagenet, Count of Anjou, a young man 11 years her junior, who had lofty aspirations for Normandy. Before his untimely passing, the king, Geoffrey, and Matilda hadn't been on good terms, although they apparently she had been promised the throne. Enter Stephen de Blois, favourite nephew of Henry. Described as a resolute and audacious man, Stephen was reportedly liked by all. According to a number of nights around Henry's bedside before his death, the king had changed his mind over his successor and named Stephen as his rightful heir. Taking his chance, Stephen travelled at speed to London to stake his claim for the throne. He was given the keys to the treasury in Winchester and the approval of the Archbishop in Canterbury. And on December 22nd, 1135, Stephen was made the fourth Norman King of England. Most of the country was happy with their new king. However, there were some, including Matilda and Robert Fitzroy, 1st Earl of Gloucester, Matilda's half-brother, who were extremely displeased with this coronation. So, note to readers, all diary entries found within each chapter are written from the perspective of Simon II de Senlis, Earl of Huntingdon, Northampton, a staunch and loyal ally to King Stephen. So in this game, we are actually on the side of King Stephen, and we are getting attacked every round. There are 5 rounds in the game, and we're going to get attacked by Matilda's forces, and we have to try and defend our castle. And in some scenarios, we can also send people out to attack Stephen's castles as well. And if you play this multiplayer, it is very much a multiplayer solitaire game. When I talk about attacking other enemy castles, it's not the castles of other players. You aren't doing that in any way. Right, chapter 1. Are we ready? Sunday, 22nd of December, 1135. All hail the king! England once again has a monarch. King Stephen, first and favourite nephew of the late Henry I, has taken up his rightful place upon the throne. His coronation at Westminster Abbey has been held on this most holiest of days. And not a moment too soon. Since King Henry's passing, it seems every man in the kingdom has sought to plunder the goods of others. The Normans have abandoned themselves to robbery and pillage, with greedy brigands rushing out of every nook, ready for evil. It will take a strong hand to bring this country back from the brink of anarchy, but I believe our new king is more than up to the task. Okay, so scenario cards is 1 to 5. So we are using the exact same 5 scenario cards as you would use if you're playing the easy standard mode of the game. We are removing the common cards and also Bellwether, Partisan and Silversmith. Silversmith, Bellwether and Partisan. Right, so there we're going. Other changes, we gain 1 serf. So we start the game with 1 serf. Okay, our victory requirements are that we need to construct and complete the mint. So let's just have a quick look at this. And if this scares you, then don't worry about it, because it does get easier once you've played the game a couple of times. But the mint is over here. So the mint comes in 3 levels. There's the small mint, the medium mint, and the large mint. In order to build the mint, we're going to have to increase our measure of governance. So in order to build the large mint, we need a governance of 8. What that means is we are going to have to get at least to 8 on here in order to be able to do that. So that is one of the victory conditions. We need to construct each of the levels and we need to complete each level. So we need to fill in all of the boxes underneath it as well. We also need to have at least 15 loyalty by the end of the game, which is here. I might just put a little dot in there because that's what we're trying to get to. And also we're trying to get to 15 or more influence by the end of the game. Our final discontent, which is going to be the number of outline circles that haven't been filled in, needs to be 0 or 2. So 2 or fewer discontent at the end of the game. And we need to have scored a total victory points of 60. If we do all of those things, then we are good to go. There is a bonus goal. So if we do all of that and we get to 70 points, then for the next chapter, we are going to gain ourselves a soldier and a silver. But I tell you what, let's just try and do the first one. So that's it. That is the setup. We know what our objective is. That's kind of guiding us in a bit of a direction. But let's see how we get on. So the game plays over 5 rounds. Each round follows a certain series of phases, and the first phase is that we are going to get new attack cards. So every player in this position is going to get a final Escalade card. I said I wasn't going to do a full tutorial, but I'll kind of give you an idea. There are 6 of these, you shuffle them, and everybody gets one of them. Now, the final Escalade card is always placed face up. And that tells you what you're being attacked by, what fortifications you can use to defend yourself, where the attack is coming from. And you may notice that it's got letters A and A. So I'm being attacked by people with ladders from the north and the south. And the current round's scenario card tells you what A is. So A is 2, which means I'm getting attacked by 2 strength from the north and 2 strength from the south. I will be building up my castle fortifications in order to try and protect myself. Because it's round 1, we also get an attack card. So we take this attack card. Now, this is face up here. If it was round 2, this one would be face down. But this is also face up. And this is a horrible card. This is catapults. So we can't use any fortifications to protect ourselves against this. We're being attacked at long range. The only thing we can use is we can take shelter under the covers. And the letter is C, and C is 1. Now, that's good because at the start of the game, you actually start off the game with 1 covers. You see the outlined circle here? That means I've got some. Because I haven't researched it, I can't build any more, but I do have 1, which means I don't need to worry about that card at the moment. Now, the problem is once those covers have gone, if this card comes out again and I don't have any covers, yeah, I'm going to get beaten up badly. Essentially, at the end of every round after you've taken all of your actions, your castle is going to get attacked. You go through these cards from right to left, and every card you manage to get rid of is going to be good. Every card that you don't manage to get rid of is going to be bad. You're going to fail to get some loyalty. You're going to get discontent and all of that sort of stuff. Right, we then path cards. So the path cards is end of game scoring objectives, but it also tells you what resources you're going to get for the turn. And in a solo game, you always draw 2. So we've got the foreman and the weaponsmith. And if the tents on here are in the same position, which they are, then I get to take first, and the other one just gets discarded. If the opponent's tent was ahead of mine, then essentially I think I only deal 1 card and get that. Effectively, they've taken one of the cards. Let me just double check that, because I've never played this solo. This is my first game playing it solo. Reveal 2 path cards and choose one to keep. The other is discarded. If your tent is behind your rival, only take 1 path card, which you must take. In either case, after doing so, advance the rival tent onto the next space. Okay, so 2 serfs, 3 craftsmen, 4 materials, 3 patrons, and a silver, or 8. I mean, it's almost the same. It's 1 fewer craftsmen if I take this card, but I do get 1 extra serf. So it's more about trying to find the goals which I then am going to try and aim for, or later in the game, take the goals that you've already kind of worked towards. Just had a bit of a cough. Right, so the foreman is completed quarry and forest, farms and training grounds. It's missing a comma there. Oh, missing a comma. Right, that's all of this stuff. So the training grounds is that track, the farms is that track, and the quarry and forest is that track. So if I've completed 1 of them, I get 1 point, 2 of them 2 points, 3 of them 3 points. You want to be completing these anyway, because these are going to be producing you resources during the game and for free at the end of every round. Weaponsmith is for constructed siege weapons, which is all about here. Now, when you're attacking enemy castles, you do want to be constructing siege weapons because you need certain siege weapons to get certain places. But I am going to take the foreman, and we're going to see how we get on. So that one gets discarded. We don't need that. This one, I'm now going to gain the resources on it. So I get 2 serfs. I get 3 craftsmen. I get 4 materials. 4. I get 3 patrons, which look white on here, but the pieces are actually grey. And I get 1 silver. And then, in addition to that, you've got your own production, which is here. So I gain an extra serf because of that. I gain some extra materials because of that. I gain some extra silver. I gain some food. And I also gain 2 soldiers. And as you increase those, you're going to get more stuff at the start of each round. So all of this goes on my board. And if you're playing this multiplayer, then you will draft the cards in order. And if all of the tents are on the same position, you use normal turn order, which is whoever's got this marker and clockwise. And now what we do is we go into the action phase. So the action phase of the game is where it's all going to go crazy, and we're going to spend these resources to fill in boxes on here. But one of the tricks with this game, and it's the same with its predecessor, Hadrian's Wall, is that a lot of the time you will spend resources to fill in a box. Filling in that box gives you more resources. So you can't just say, right, this is what I've got to spend for this round, because it's going to get more. You are going to get more stuff as you fill in boxes. But one thing is, at the end of the round, I'm going to have to feed the people. And in round 1, I need 1 food, so I'm going to put it there so that I don't accidentally spend it. I can spend it if I want to, but if I end up going hungry, you're going to gain 1 discontent for every food that you cannot pay. And the food costs go up every round. So we have a sandbox game. We have it completely open. I say completely open. There are things that you need to do. We are going to need to build up the defences of your castle. You can't not do that. If you don't do that, you're going to get absolutely hammered from these. So you've got to do that, which is all this part of the board. We have an objective that we need to complete the mint, which is actually good because completing the mint is going to increase your silver production. Silver production allows you to then invest in the Wheel of Wealth. Oh, that should get tucked under here. That is my first objective. You see that? You can, just about. So, yeah. And we want to increase our quarry and forest, farms and training grounds, because doing that is going to increase our production of things. Now, one other thing with this game is you can't carry anything over from one round to the next. So if I only need 1 food this round. If I was to gain an extra food, then unless I had a way of spending that food, it would be wasted. But one of the things that we're trying to do in this scenario is these are the enemy castles to attack. And that is done during the action phase. So it is now my action phase where I get to do everything. And if you're playing this multiplayer, everybody would be doing this at the same time. So one of the things is that I can attack this castle here. To attack this castle, I need 1 food to feed my army that goes off. I need some ladders. I don't have ladders at the moment. And I need 4 strength worth of soldiers and knights. I can only use soldiers and knights to attack. I can use soldiers, knights and craftsmen to defend. So we want to do that for a few reasons. Oh, I should have moved that onto there. Because if I move on to there, I'm going to get 2 path cards next turn instead of just 1. But also, at the end of each round, for every castle that's ahead of you, you gain a discontent. So I don't know whether it's for everyone or just if there is one. But basically, if I don't attack this enemy castle, I'm going to gain discontent. So I do want to do that, which means I am going to need an extra food, which means I am going to need to have some ladders. So let's jump in and let's start doing stuff. I'm missing the plunder tiles. I am missing the plunder tiles. Thank you. Well spotted. Okay, so we have some random plunder tiles. We get one of those there, one of those. There's 2 different types. And I didn't mention this in the how to play video because I didn't find out until afterwards, but the backs of the tiles tells you what goes there. But essentially, the first 2 have 3 resources on, and the next 3 have 2 resources on. And that's an extra bonus that you're going to get for attacking the enemy castles. So yeah, you pretty much always want to do it. The one game that I played of this, where we used these, and it was 3 players, every single round, except for the last round, every player always managed to attack the enemy castle. So it is something that you want to do. We were playing on easy mode though, so it was easier. Right, off we go then. So we need some more food. So we get some more food by going to the farms. So I'm going to spend a serf to fill in the box, and whenever you fill in a box, you get the thing that's underneath it. So I fill in that box there. Get some food. Yay! Right, I've got a food. Now we can feed the army to go off here. Except I don't have enough. I've only got 2 soldiers. That's not enough. So I'm going to need more soldiers, or I'm going to need some knights. I'm also going to need some ladders. So we need to research and build ladders. So I'm going to spend 1 silver. It's always 1 silver for the Wheel of Wealth to fill in this box here. So we've started down the Siegecraft quarter. That gets me a serf. We are then going to spend another silver to research ladders. So we now know how to build ladders. And then I'm going to spend a craftsman and a materials to build some ladders. So when I build a ladder, I gain 1 might. Might is down here. This is basically victory points, but it does other stuff as well. Right, I now have ladders. Excellent. So I've got the food, I've got the ladders, but we need some strength. Now I could just go and get some more soldiers, and I could send 4 soldiers after it. But I also need to be aware of this and how I'm going to defend myself against the 2 strength coming in here. Now, I could build some walls up, or I could use some craftsmen or soldiers or even knights to defend myself. Now, there is a way of training knights, and that is here. But in order to start training knights, you need to have built the small chapel. There's another way, which is allies, but that needs silver. I'm all out of silver. Now, I could get silver. There's definitely places that I can get silver. And one of them is the governance track. And I'm going to need to do this anyway. So we're going to spend 1 patron. It's always 1 patron to advance up these leadership tracks. So we're going to fill in the first box of governance. That gets me a silver. See what I mean about chaining resources? And then we can use that silver. Do we want to do this? I think we do. I think this might be the most efficient way of doing it. It's the most efficient way of getting there. Oh, no, there's another thing we can do. Yes, right. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to build, now that, oh no, I need a governance of 2 to build the small mint. Okay, so we're going to send another patron to have level 2 in governance. And notice that I am shading in boxes that don't have anything in them. Basically everywhere on the board, apart from 1 space, everything has to be filled in from left to right or from top to bottom. So you can't just skip empty boxes and move on to the next one. You've just got to spend the resources to fill in the box, but there's no immediate bonus. So I've done that. Then I'm going to, now that my measure of governance is 2, I can now build the small mint. So I'm going to spend a craftsman and some materials. We are going to build the small mint. So the small mint is built. I don't get any immediate bonus for that, but what I can now do is send 1 patron into, a serf into the small mint. That does nothing, but the second one gets me this. So it gains me a silver. It gets me a silver production. So I'm going to be producing more silver every round, and it gets me 1 influence. And that small mint is now completed. That means now that it's fully completed, I can move on to the medium mint, but to do so, I need a measuring governance of 5, which I don't have yet. So, but that's fine. I've got a couple of silver and I've increased my silver production, so I'm happy with that. How are we going to get the 4 strength to go over here? Are we going to spend a silver to have some allies, which is going to be a knight. A knight is 2 strength. Still a bit worried about this. Or do we build a small chapel? So I can't build a small chapel because I need a measure of worship of 2. I can't get a measure of worship of 2. Okay, let's look at building some walls. So I've got 1 craftsman left. I'm going to use that craftsman and some materials to build the first section of wall. Now, the first section of walls actually also gets me a patron. Somebody turns up and goes, look at them walls, they're good. I'm going to join you. And then what we do is we choose one of the 4 walls. So I'm going to show you this from Battle Cam. So this is probably my favourite part of the game, and I expect it will be other people's favourite part of the game as well. We're actually building up a physical castle here. These are the wall pieces. They start at level 1, and I can choose where I want them to go. So I'm going to put them on here. Now, I'm not allowed to increase that wall to level 2 until the side ones are level 1. Basically, the level difference between 2 adjacent walls cannot be more than 1. So that's it. I've built that. And as you can see from the card that I'm about to get attacked by, you can only use the walls if they're on the card. So for example, this card here, I can't use the walls because they're not coloured in. You can only use a fortification if it's coloured in on the picture. That's essentially how that works. So I've built that. We're all good. That wall is level 1, which means it's going to protect me from 1 strength from this direction. Now I've got 2 strength coming in from this direction, but what I could do is I could put a soldier there and I'd be safe. Or I could throw some rocks at them. I've got 1 basket full of rocks. We don't have any craftsmen left. So I can't build the northern wall. But I've got silver, so we could go and recruit some craftsmen from the guildsman quarter. We could pay for them, basically, and then use them to start building more walls. I definitely want to attack this enemy castle. We could just go here. I'm going to do it. So I'm going to spend a silver, and we're going to go to the allies quarter, and that gets me a knigget. Now, knights have 2 strength. So now what we're going to do is we're going to spend the food. We're going to use the ladders. So you don't cross them off. They're already crossed off. That means I've got ladders. So we spend the food, we spend the ladders, but we do have to spend 4 strength points, 2, 3, and 4. And that's it. We have successfully attacked the enemy castle. And we get all of the rewards printed at the top, which I'd forgotten about. So we get 2 bravery. Now my second bravery box gets me another serf. And we get this plunder tile, which is 2 silver and some materials. Okay, so suddenly the castle's been attacked. That's good. We're happy with that. What are we going to do now? We've got loads of silver. We now need to focus on this. So what I could do is build up that. Yeah, okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend a silver and we're going to go into the guildsman quarter and we're going to get ourselves a craftsman. Then I'm going to use that craftsman and that materials to fill in the next box on the wall strike. Now this time it's just a wall. So I'm going to put that there. Right, we've still got 2 silver left. We've still got this. Oh, we could do this. Oh, no, we can't. We can't build these to level 2 until the sides are built. Right, so I'm going to need 2 soldiers. I'm going to need a craftsman. Soldier or a craftsman. I think we can do this. Yes, we can. I didn't actually need to do that. Because the way that this mercenaries quarter works, I could end up getting 2 soldiers. Oh, choices. Right. We've got some materials here. We don't need any materials. We've got a silver there. If we go down the worship route is going to unlock the knight's training. We're probably going to need the knight. We can't just complete this scenario just with soldiers, I don't think. And we wanted to increase this. Production. We absolutely need to increase production. Okay, so we've got 3 serfs. Let's send 2 of them to the farms. So the first one is going to do nothing. The second one... Oh no, hang on. Second one is going to give us a food which is going to be wasted. Unless we build the small chapel. Okay, I'm going to do it. So we're going off to the farms. Now this time, that box is I gain a food and I increase my food production. So next round I'm going to be generating 2 food instead of 1. So we've got spare food. So what we're going to do now is we are going to spend another silver on the guildsman quarter to hire a craftsman. Craftsman comes along and says, what would you like me to build? And we give him some materials and say, go and build us a small chapel, except we can't because our worship is not right. So we're going to spend 2 patrons to increase our worship to 2, which gains us a silver on the way. And now our worship is 2. We can spend a craftsman and the materials to build the small chapel. So building the small chapel gets us an influence, which gets us another craftsman. Now, what's interesting about the small chapel is as soon as you've built it, even if you've not done anything with it, as soon as you've built it, you then have access to knight's training. So you can do that. Now, you know I mentioned earlier on, everything in the game needs to be filled in from either left to right or top to bottom. The small chapel is different. So once you have built the small chapel, you can spend a food to fill in that box, spend the materials to fill in that box, and spend a silver to fill in that box in any order. And once all 3 are filled in, that's when you get the bonus that's printed here. Right. Checks the text to make sure that I'm playing it correctly. I think I am. I need a soldier to stand on the wall and shout, yes, your mother was a hamster and your father smells of elderberries. Absolutely. So, where were we up to? We've unlocked knight's training. So we could do that if we had any patrons. But we don't have any patrons. But we now have a home for the food. The spare food can now go into the small chapel. Again, doesn't get us anything until... Oh, and we absolutely could. We could finish it. Now, yeah, let's do it. So I'm also going to give the small chapel some materials and some silver, which means the small chapel is built and we gain a patron. We gain patron production. And we also gain an influence, which goes on here. So that is it. The small chapel is built. So let's just go back to our castle being attacked. We're all right. We're going to use the covers for that. We've got 2 strength coming in from the south. I can use that craftsman to defend. And I've got 2 strength coming in from the north. And I could just use the rocks. I'm okay. I don't need anything else. But I've got these. So what am I going to do with these? I'll tell you what. I'm going to send this one off to the training grounds. So that serf is going to go off to the training grounds and come back a soldier. Now, I'm putting them round here. That's not when we're supposed to put them round here. I'm just doing it now, just mentally, because that's where I've committed them. We've got 1 silver and we've got 1 patron. So the patron is going to go on the governance track, which gets us a loyalty. And the silver, remember, you can't carry anything over from one round to the next. So the silver is going to go on the wealth wheel. And it's going to go on... It's going to go on researching the small crane. So yeah, let me just show you this in more detail. Once you go down, once you've filled in this box, which always has to be the first one, you can then go to there, there, or there in any order. But you have to have researched the small crane in order to then go beyond it. You don't have to have built it, you need to have researched it. Building it is over here. So it's a 2-step process. You research it and then you build it. But in order to move down the tech track, you only need to have researched it. So I am going to research with that 1 silver, a small crane. And then if I had that, I could build it, and you need to build it in order to get past here and all sorts of other stuff. What's this? The covers. Yes, no, I do have the covers. Again, we'll just look at it. So these are tactics. You've got covers, rocks, hot oil, logs, and bolts. And you start with 1 of each. You can see that it's pre-filled in. It's already got an outline around it. That means you have one use of each of them. But until you've researched it, which is done here, you can't build any more of it. So, yes, we're okay. Right. Are we done? I think we are. I think we are done with the action phase. So now what we do is we go into castle defense. So we need to spend the food that we've got. And if you don't have the food, you gain discontent. And then we go through the cards from right to left. And if any of them were face down, this is the point where you would flip them up and you'd go, oh no. But the game does come with a handy little reference card. So you do get some idea of what's on the other side of the cards. But experience in playing the game will help as well. So this is very simple. We are being attacked by catapults and we have to spend those covers. If we don't spend those covers, then we fail to defend against the card, which is bad. So we're going to spend our covers. Done. That card is gone and has been dealt with. And then the next thing is this card. So we have 2 strength coming in from the bottom. I've got 1 craftsman, which is 1 strength, and then the walls. And on the north side of the castle, 1 soldier, which is 1 strength, and the walls. We have successfully defended against both cards. So now what we do is we gain a combination of loyalty and discontent based on the round's determination value, which for round 1 is 1. It then goes to 2, 2, 3, and 4. So it's not quite 1 per round, but in round 1, the determination value is 1. That means I gain 1 loyalty because I protected myself against all of the cards. So I gain a loyalty, which gets me a soldier ready for the next round. Awesome. And I think that's it. Yeah, I'm skipping over some of the steps because, again, it's not a full tutorial video, but we are on round 2. So what we do is we shuffle all of these cards. How are people finding it so far? If you don't know anything about the game, let us know what you think about it. What I will say, and again, this is not a sponsored video, so I can be as honest as I want to be in this video, but bear in mind, I was paid to create the official how to play video for the game, so just, yeah, keep that in mind. One criticism that I have heard about this game is that it's only a solo game. There is no point playing it at any other player count. And I couldn't disagree more with that. I have played this game at 3-player and 4-player. And it isn't actually that much longer. As long as everybody knows the rules, once you're all doing your own thing, it's happening simultaneously. So the game isn't taking 4 times as long for a 4-player game. And I generally prefer playing games with other people. It is very much multiplayer solitaire. So you might think, what's the point of playing with more players when it's the same experience? It is the same experience from a game point of view, apart from maybe some competition here. But from a social aspect of playing the game with other people, yeah, you can't beat that. That's my thoughts about it. So, end of round 1, we flip these over. And we go into round 2. So, we've got our final Escalade card. So, the first card is face up. So, we know we're getting attacked by a battering ram. It's going to attack the gate. We don't have a gate. Well, we do. It's a piece of wood. So, we need to fortify our gate. And we can use hot oil, but it's D. D in round 2 is 3 strength. So, we're being attacked from 3 strength from the south, and we can't use our walls. We can only use our gate, and we haven't built one yet. And because it's round 2, the next card is face down. But, as you can see from the card, it's the same again. It's a battering ram from the front where we can use the gate. Now, that's a good thing, because if we focus on building that gate this turn, it's going to protect us against this card and this card. But we're also being attacked by strength 2 from the west and strength 2 from the north, where we can only use our walls. Yeah, it does escalate. Right, okay. So, we have 2 path cards. Off we go. We have the Monk, completed sums in Michaelmas. Michaelmas is down here. I don't know if I'm going to be doing that at all yet this game. And the Scout is for gaining spies. Well, we're not doing any of those things yet, but we're more likely to do spies because spies requires measures of governance. And we are already going up the governance track. So, I'm taking that one. And that one gets discarded. Okay, so we gain 4 serfs. Plus 1 because of my production. So I get 5 serfs. We gain 3 craftsmen. Plus no more. We gain 3 materials. Plus 1. 4 materials. We get 3 patrons. Plus 1. Okay. And then we also gain 2 silver. 2 silver. We gain 2 food, which is what we will need to feed all of our people for this round. We also gain 2 soldiers. Coming very useful. And we don't gain any knights. That's it. Right. We are ready to rock. So let's have a look at the castle for this round. We need 4 strength. We need a food. And we also need ballistas. Now, we don't have ballistas yet, so we're going to have to research it. And then after we've researched it, we're going to have to build it. It's suddenly ramped up a little bit. And this is only round 2. Just check the rulebook for tactics. While each row comes with the first box outlined, it cannot be used until the associated tactic has been researched. Oh! It cannot be used. In which case, my how to play video is wrong. Because I thought it could be used. Thank you for that. I'm not going to undo what I did because, yeah. But let's have a look. So, prepared tactics. These must first be researched from the tactics area on the right sheet. Once researched, you can discard materials to prepare their tactics. When doing so, you draw an outline circle next to the available box. Prepared tactics may be used during the castle defense phase. When using prepared tactics, fill in the box to show that it's no longer available. I think I'm doing it right. So the wording is that you cannot spend the resources to get any more of it until you have researched it. That's the wording. But, in other words, you can't prepare any more tactics until you've researched it. But these are already prepared. And it does say, prepared tactics may be used during the castle defense phase. So I'll just triple check under the castle defense phase. Tactics. And the how to play video was double checked by both Shem and the designer. So that's why I'm fairly confident it's correct. So yes, each tactics are shown in the middle of the calendar. Each prepared tactics used provides 1 defense. Using tactics is always optional. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're okay, Lynette. So yeah, you don't need to have researched it in order to use the actual prepared tactic. Okay, so what's our plan? Are we going to look at our defense first? I think I need to. So we need to build the gate up. Now we know we're going to get attacked by strength 3 on this card, and this card is it's 3. Yeah, look from this reference sheet, I know that is actually a 3 strength card. So as long as we build 3 pieces of gate, we're okay. We don't need anybody else. So I'm definitely going to spend a craftsman and the materials to build the first piece of gate. Okay, and I'll just show you how this works. The gate is this one, and we've just built the first level. So walls go up to 4, gates go up to 6. So there's the first level. That's gone in there. And it also got us, what did that get us? It got us a patron. It got us a patron as well. Right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a craftsman and some materials to fill in the second box of the gate, which is level 2 gate. And also 1 might. Might is down here, which gets us another patron. Look at these. Look at all these patron supporters. They're breeding. Now, 2 is not enough. But you notice this line here? So you can't go beyond this line until you have built the small crane. Not just researched it, you actually need to have built it. And you build it here. So we've already researched it, but we haven't built it yet. So to build it, we spend this, and then we can fill in this box. And from that point on, we have built the small crane, and then we can go beyond this line. That's how that works. Okay, Lynette says that her rulebook explicitly says otherwise. Okay, let me just read it again on page 13, because this is the final version of the game. So prepared tactics. These must first be researched from the tactics area on the right sheet. Once researched, you can discard materials to prepare their tactics. When doing so, you draw an outline circle around the next available box. Prepared tactics may be used in castle defense. When using prepared tactics, fill in the box to show that it's no longer available. While each row comes with the first box outlined, oh yes, sorry, it's the line there. Thank you, I got that wrong. Now, I am a little concerned that my how to play video doesn't mention that. So thank you very much, Lynette. While each row comes with the first box outlined, it cannot be used until the associated tactic has been researched. Right, I got that wrong. Apologies for that. So I slightly cheated, and I couldn't have done what I did in round 1. And what I will now do is I will quickly research covers as soon as possible in order that I can try and fix the situation. So how do we research it here? Which means we need Warcraft. So I'm going to spend 1 patron to learn Warcraft, which gets me a soldier. And now that we've learned Warcraft, we can then spend a patron to have some tactics. And we're going to have the tactics of covers, which gets me a soldier. Right, there you go. So we sort of fixed it. Right, okay. No, it's okay. No, I appreciate people pointing out any errors. I'm just concerned by my how to play video, because I don't think I mentioned that in there. So, what have we got next? Where are we up to? We are trying to build the gate, but we can't build the gate because we haven't built the small crane. So we're going to build the small crane. So we spend a craftsman and a materials, and we are going to build the small crane, which gets me a serf. Serf looks a little bit like the bread. Okay, well, speaking of bread, we're also going to need some bread. But that's fine, because we've got all these serfs. And we've got all these patrons. So now that we've got the small crane, we can now go beyond that line, but we don't have any more craftsmen. So we're going to need some craftsmen. So I'm going to spend some silver on the Wheel of Wealth, and we're going to go here to get a craftsman, which I'm going to spend immediately with that to fill in this box, which gets us a level 3 gate and another patron. So our gate is the strongest gate in the Western Kingdoms, and it basically means I'm okay for this card and I'm okay for this card. They're fine. This is now the dangerous one. So we've got 2 coming in from the west, 2 coming in from the north. I only have 1 wall on the north. And as we've just learnt, I've got some rocks, but I don't know what to do with them. So we're going to need to research rocks in order to be able to use them. Okay. I mean, we've got loads of patrons here. We've got loads more stuff we can be doing. Unfortunately, we are short on craftsmen and materials. We're really short on craftsmen and materials. Okay. We've got plenty of soldiers. Oh, we also need to research and build ballista. How the heck are we going to do all of this stuff? I mean, I simply don't know. So, we got all these patrons. These patrons are going to need here. Spies we don't really need until end of game, because for my points, we don't even need any of them anyway. We don't need them. Spies are useful if you need more information about what the face down cards are, because it allows you to look at the cards. And we're going to need to increase our food production for next round. So, right, I'm going to spend a silver. We're going to fill in this box on the guildsman quarter, which is 1 craftsman and also 1 craftsman production. Next round, I'm going to gain an extra craftsman. Then we're going to spend this one for... we're going to send him off to the quarry and forest. He comes back with some wood. Now we can build something with this, but what are we going to build? Is it going to be another wall? It is, I think. Or is it going to be the medium keep? Because we can now build the medium keep. Oh no, we can't. We haven't got a governance of 4. I can get a governance of 4. I can build them, not the medium keep, the mint. I need a governance of 5. That's okay. I can get that, and then I can build it, and then I can populate it. That's going to increase my money production. That's not helping me with this though. Although it does give me the money. And I need the money to research ballista. Okay. But I'm going to need a craftsman and a materials to actually build the ballista. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Right. How are we going to get the money? Okay. Just looking around for where I'm going to get the money from. I mean, there's all of this stuff we haven't done yet. Do we need a bit of entertainment? Entertainment's good for tournaments and joy to cancel out discontent, but I don't think we need that just yet. Night training isn't going to get us any bonus. Some Valentine's Festival is not going to get us any money. It's tricky. It is tricky. Did you mark the enemy castles? I didn't. We did defeat 1 enemy castle. Thank you. Yeah, look at that. We're going to have to. So, the only way that I can see that I can gain any silver is from constructing and then filling the medium mint. So, let's do it. 1 patron for measure 4 of governance. Another patron for measure 5 of governance, which gets me 1 serf and also 1 serf production. Now that we have 5, we can spend the craftsman and the materials to build the medium mint, which doesn't get us anything, but then we spend 2 serfs to work at the medium mint. The second one getting us 1 silver, 1 silver production, and also 1 influence. Right, the medium mint is completed. There is the silver. We use the silver to research the ballista. But now we need to build it. And to build it, We need a craftsman. Anybody got the number for a local carpenter? Oh, rats. Okay. How are we going to do this? I've got all these soldiers. Can these soldiers not become craftsmen? I mean, one thing you can do at any time in the game is convert 2 resources to 1, but that's only resources, not workers. Workers cannot be converted from one to another, which they could in Hadrian's Wall, once per round. Yeah, craftsmen are the pinch point. And if I had silver, if I had more silver, I can go here and recruit a craftsman. So all I need is another silver or a craftsman. How am I going to get that? Oh, and another food. We don't have a food yet. This suddenly feels a lot harder than the last couple of times I've played. Even with cheating. I mean, I have put my effort into this. And by doing that, I've increased this, which has been great. But unfortunately, there's downsides to that. I've got 3 patrons. Surely there must be stuff I can do on here. That'll get me a materials. That'll get me a knight. That'll get me an influence. The influence will get me another... Yes! Done it! Right. Spend a patron. Increase governance. Gain some materials. Spend another patron. Fill in the next box on the governance track. It gives us a knight. Spend another patron. Fill in the next box on the governance track, which gives us an influence. And the influence gives us a patron. And then we use that patron to fill in the last box on the governance track, which gives us, you guessed it, Mr. C. Raftsman. Oh, right. What were we doing with it? Building the ballista. Okay, we're going to build the ballista. So craftsman and materials to build the ballista, which gets us a might. Okay, and now we don't have the food, but that's fine. We're going to send these 2 serfs off to the farms. First one does nothing because he's lazy. Second one gets us a food. So we have the food. We have the ballista. I'm scared to look at the chat in case I've made a rules mistake. We need 4 strength. We've got 4 strength. Turn your bread into silver. How do you turn your bread into silver? Oh, turn your 2 bread into silver. Ah, yeah, the 2 resources for 1. I could have done. Yeah, I could have done if I was that desperate. Thank you for that, but I managed to work out how to do it. So, we're done. 4 strength, ballista, food. Have at it. So we gain 3 bravery. 1, 2, 3. Which gets us a soldier. And we also get a silver, and a materials, and a bread. Done. Right. Now, what we're going to do with all this spare stuff. So, we've done the castle. That's fine. Oh, that should have moved to there. We've done that. We know we're good for that. We know we're good for that. We're not good for this, but I've got so many soldiers spare now. We're fine. Yeah, we're absolutely fine. And we've got spare these and spare this and spare that. So we could have another craftsman. Okay. What are we going to use these 2 serfs for? So we can't build... Oh, tell you what. No, we can't. Yes, we can. We can build the large mint. We have a governance of 8. We could get a craftsman by spending the silver, and we've got the materials. We could build the large mint, and we could populate the large mint straight away. We could do that. It would cost all of that. But then we've got the large mint. And the idea of getting the large mint is that objective is done, but also we are gaining so much money every round. I don't know, does it feel right? It feels wrong. It feels like I'm going for that a bit too soon, but the sooner I get it, the better. The other option is that we spend the serfs to increase these production tracks. These are also going to benefit us the more we do it. I just don't know what I'm going to do with all of these spare soldiers. I mean, if you do have spare soldiers that aren't used in here, you can get some serfs out of it. I'll tell you what, I think I'm going to do it. So what was it? I'm going to spend a silver to go to the craftsman quarter. And we're going to go here, which gets us a craftsman. A craftsman with the materials builds the large mint. You also need to have a small crane. I have built the small crane. So that's good. Then I'm going to use these two serfs to populate the large mint, which increases my silver production by 1 and increases my influence by 1 and gives me a silver. Okay, so that paid for itself with that. What's this food for? I've forgotten what this food is for. I'm probably going to lose that, aren't I? The only place you can spend excess food is attacking enemy castles, putting it in a chapel, which you can't do, or hosting a tournament. I can only host a tournament if I've got a measure of entertainment of 1, which I can't do because I don't have any patrons. I don't know how I can get some patrons, but I can also convert these 2 into a wood if I really needed that. So, got it. Spend the silver, go into the allies quarter to get a patron. With the patron, I'm going to increase my entertainment track. So I now have an entertainment of 1. Happy, happy, joy, joy, which gets us some materials. And now that I've got an entertainment of 1, we're going to host a tournament. So this is a whole part of the game you've not seen yet. It's a deck of cards. So tournament, level 1 tournament requires 1 food. It gets me a knight, which I don't need, and we get to draw 2 cards. So I'm going to show you this on which camera view shall I use for this. Let's go to that one, but I'm actually going to go down to here. Let's go for this one. So what you do when you're hosting a tournament is you reveal the top 2 cards of the deck. This has been shuffled, and we're looking at this 4th row. And the one on the left is me. That is my jouster. That is my knight. So my lance is in the left position. And on my opponent, which is this card, they don't have their shield in the left position, which means I've hit them. But unfortunately for me, their lance was in the left position and my shield wasn't. So round 1 ends in a tie. We both knock each other off our horse. So what we now do is we go to round 2. So again, that's me and that's my opponent. Same thing happens. I've hit him, he's hit me. So now we go to round 3. And the same thing again. Yep, we've both hit each other. And if after 3 rounds it's still a tie, then you count as winning the tournament. So I have won the tournament. Ian says you make an extra food to pay for the attack and then got 1 from the attack. Oh, that's why I've got the extra food. Yes. So we win the tournament, which means we also get, in addition to the knight, so you get the knight for the tournament by spending the food. But in addition to that, if you win the tournament, you get those bonuses. So it's an extra soldier and also an influence. Okay, so we've got way too many soldiers. I don't know what we can do with all these soldiers. And we've got some materials. Now, I can't really do much with the materials unless we have a craftsman. And as we know, getting craftsmen is hard. What can I do with some of these materials? I don't know whether there is anything I can do. We've no patrons, so I can't increase that. We can't deposit anything in the chapel. We could train some knights, but we need to spend a patron to train the knights because the patron becomes a knight. Valentine's Festival requires a patron. Michaelmas requires a serf. Tournaments require a food. We can't do that. What about up here? Spies cost money. Tactics, we've already got 1 tactics. I could do the ramparts, but that requires a craftsman. Small stables also requires a craftsman. I don't think I can do anything with 1 materials. That's a bit of a shame. And I've got so many workers now. Is that it? Are we done? I think we're done. I don't think there's anything else we can do. So we go to castle defense. I spend my food. That's the first thing you need to do. Then you deploy your workers. So I'm going to err on the side of caution. And I'm just going to put them all around. And you're supposed to stand them up because laying down workers is like half strength. Okay, so that's that. And then what we do is we then reveal the cards. And if you have any of these muster tokens, you can actually move your troops around once the cards have been revealed, just in case you messed up. So look, it's exactly what I thought it was. So the first card is we are being attacked by a battering ram coming at me from the front. I can only use my gate, hot oil, and workers. I have a gate of 3. It's an attack of 3. We're all done. And then they didn't learn their lesson. They are doing exactly the same thing again. And then finally, we have the final escalade card. So we've got 2 coming in from this side. So that's the knight. 2 coming in from this side. We've got 1 walls and 1 of those. So I mentioned, oh, and that's that card gone. The determination value for this round is 2, which means I gain 2 loyalty and 0 discontent. So 2 loyalty. Now, I mentioned earlier on that if you've got any workers left around your castle at the end of the round, what you do is you add up their total strength, divide by 3, and that's how many serfs you get. So I've got 4 total strength left. These retire, but I gain a serf ready for next round. Moat. What about the moat? Is there something about the moat? Yeah, no, I don't think there was a moat. No, moat's not on here. That's it. That's the end of round 2. So we flip the card over. And we move on to round 3. Okay, so we'll shuffle the final escalade cards. Oh, you were suggesting it was something to do with the red guys. Oh, yes, I could have done. Yes, that's what you can use soldiers for. You can build the moat. Okay, so I probably would. I knew I was going to have 1 spare that I didn't need, so I will put that on there. Thank you very much. Okay. Right, final escalade card is that one. So they are coming at me with 3 from the south, 3 from the east, and I can use walls. I think the final escalade cards are mostly walls. Oh, I lost the materials. Yeah, materials you can't keep from one round to the next. But the serf is something that I gained during the castle defense. It's such an interesting puzzle, this, to play. And you get, although it's these same cards every round, it's such a sandbox. You can do what you want, effectively. But there are certain things that you need to do. And you're going to be driven as well by your path cards. Okie dokie, round 3. So the first card is face up. Now this is a strong attack. See the skull icon? That means that if I successfully defend against this card, I'm going to gain 1 bravery. But that is 4 strength coming in from the top, and I can only use walls and rocks. The next card is face down. So that's a catapult and trebuchet. So we're going to need those covers. And then the next card is face up. So that's going to need, oh my god. That's 4 strength coming in from the east, and I can only use my moat, and I can also use logs. Well, okay, let's have 2 path cards. You're a little concerned by the state of the castle. What's wrong with it? It's lovely. Captain, muster tokens. I haven't got any muster tokens. Abbot, completed chapel levels. We've completed 1 chapel level. Question is, are we going to get ourselves some muster tokens? I don't think we are. So I'm going to take this one. So how many serfs do we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 serfs. Craftsmen, we get 1, 2, 3, 4 craftsmen. Materials, we get 3 materials. Patrons, we get 3 plus 1, so we get 4 patrons. Patrons, silver, 2 on here, plus 4 from here. We get 6 silver. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. Food, we get 2 food from our farms. And soldiers, we need 2 soldiers. Okay, right. So the castle for this round requires 5 strength, It requires catapults, which we do not have. It requires food, which we do not have. And it requires a black horse, which you only get by filling in the small stables, which we also do not have. So this is looking a little tricky. Also, defending our castle, we got 2 strong cards. That's bad. And we're going to need to build some more covers. So catapults and trebuchets. The cards are C or A. So it's either going to be 2 or 3. So we might need 3 covers for that card. Yes, my robust economy has attracted greedy raiders. Exactly. We got loads of money, and the money is going to be great because we can recruit loads of things here. But we're going to be short on materials. Really short on materials. Thankfully, digging the moat gives you materials. Awesome. Right. Now, are we going to use serfs for that, or are we going to use soldiers? Are we going to bother with this? Are we going to be able to do this? I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do it. I'm going to need 2 patrons to go to there. Then I'm going to have to build it. Then we're going to have to populate it. Okay, we can. We can. Can we all... what does this need? This needs a catapult. So we haven't researched the catapult yet. We could build a catapult, but that's also really expensive. Shall we do this first and worry about this later? Or should we do this first and worry about this later? See, the thing is, attacking this gives us bonuses. Our castle's fine. It's going to be great by the end of it. Lick of paint, touch of, be all right. Bit of WD-40 on the gates. And we're going to need more food as well. We're going to need 2 more food. 1 to feed our people, because it's round 3s. We're going to need extra food here, and we're going to need a food to attack there. So we definitely need some more food. So one thing's for sure. I'm sending out 2 serfs to the farms. 1 there and 1 there, which gives us 1 immediate food and increases my food production by 1 for next round. Okay, so that's that done. That was essential, I feel. We also probably need to build up our walls. Yeah, but this is going to require the materials. But we're going to get the materials for digging the moat. It's just, do I dig the moat with the soldiers or the serfs? I think it's going to be so we're going to use this serf here to dig the moat. So I get 1 materials and moat level 1. So that's materials. Right, okay. Now we have 4 craftsmen and 4 materials. So that's good. We are going to use 2 patrons on the Warcraft track. 1, 2, which gets us an influence, which gets us a craftsman. Awesome. Right, then we're going to use that craftsman and some materials to build a small stables, which we can only do if our Warcraft is 3. That gets us an influence. Now that we've built the small stables, we can do these, but we need to do all 3 in order to get the horse. Wow. Which means I'm not using these for anything else. I mean, we've got silver. We have silver. We could go recruiting. Look at these mercenaries that are all available for us. Okay, so I'm going to use... And you don't have to fill all of these, but I am going to. I'm going to use 2 soldiers and a serf. What I'm saying is I'm kind of doing it all at once. You could just spend 1 and do 1 and do the rest later in the game. But I'm going to do all 3. So I gain a food, gain a silver, and I gain a knight. That's awesome. So I gain a food, I gain a silver, and I gain a knight. And because I've now completed the small stables, I now have the black horse. So I have the black horse, I have the food. I don't have the catapults yet, but I'm going to spend a silver to research a catapult. And then I'm going to spend a craftsman and 2 materials to build a catapult, which gets me 1 might. And now We don't have enough soldiers. So now I'm going to spend 2 silver to start going down the mercenaries quarter. So there, followed by there, is 3 soldiers. Okay, and now we have 1 food, the black horse, the catapults, and 5 strength. We have successfully attacked this enemy castle. Keep forgetting to move that one, and I keep forgetting to mark this. So we've done it. We gain 3 bravery. 1, 2, 3, which gets us a serf. And we get a might, which gets us a craftsman. Oh, I hadn't thought about this. And we also get a silver and a wood. Now I'm taking the tile off. In a multiplayer game, you don't take the tile off because everybody can attack that castle on the same round. Right, that was good. I feel much more confident about this. So, we've got this. We're going to be attacked by 4 strength, and we can use our moat to defend. And we can also use soldiers' knights and other stuff. Okay, so I'm going to spend another silver to hire another couple of soldiers. Both of them are going to go dig the moat. So that's there and there. That gets us 1 more materials and a level 2 moat. And because we've completed this line, we are allowed to go beyond it and do the rest of the stuff. But right now I've got craftsman and material spare. I've also got 2 patrons spare. Well, that's exciting. That's very exciting. We could have another tournament. Okay. Covers. That's what we need. We need 3 covers. Or we just forget this card and say, I tell you what, there's a card. That's what I might do. I don't want to waste all of these materials building covers, which is going to protect myself against this card when I've then got craftsman spare. So I think we're going to build up some more walls. We haven't seen our towers yet. The towers are an even cooler part of the game. But let's spend a craftsman and a materials to fill in the next wall section, which gets us a might. And it's going to be to put a level 1 wall here. Then we're going to do the same again, craftsman and a materials to fill in the next box, which gives us another wall and a patron. Now at this point, if I wanted to, I could now increase this to level 2 because these are level 1. So I am now allowed to do that if I want to. Based on what's going on here, I think that's what I'm going to do. So that's going to be level 2. Right. I think I'm going to do it again. No, I don't need the wall on this side, but I can't up the other ones until I've done that. We can't use rocks. Again, we've got a basket of rocks, but we don't know how to use it. The next tactics is at 3. So I could actually research rocks. And I could start building rocks. But we need to get the moat sorted. How are we going to get... It's going to require 1, 2, 3, 4 more diggings of the moat. Right, you'll like this. Not a lot. I'm going to spend 3 silver. I've never really gone up this mercenary track before, but I'm going to do it. So I'm going to hire a patron, and then I'm going to hire 2 soldiers and another 2 soldiers. So there's the patron. And then I'm going to use those 4 soldiers. I'm going to send them out and say, dig me a moat. So 1, 2, which gets us a might and some more materials. 3, 4, which gets us some more materials. And that is it. That is the moat at 4. Now, the moat can go up to 6, but 4 is enough for me for this round to protect myself against that card. So that card is done. That card I'm ignoring. This card, I've got 4 coming in from the north. I've got 1 of those. Yeah, and I've got a couple of craftsmen. Knights. Knights is what we want. Okay. Yeah, so let's do it. Let's spend a couple of serfs to go to the farms, which gets me some food. I'm then going to spend a patron to go onto the entertainment track. Now, this entertainment track, box number 2, is the brew house. So we flip over 2 cards and we're looking for ingredients for the brew house to brew beer. We've got some water and I think it's called dram. So I'm just going to fill in water and a dram, and you're trying to complete rows and columns. And when you do, you can brew beer, and you can give beer to craftsmen and soldiers in the fight, but not knights. Knights will not drink beer. Now that we've got an entertainment of 2, we can spend this food to have another tournament. So this gets us a knight, and we're going to have another tournament. So my lance is on the right-hand side. Their shield isn't. Their lance is there. Okay, so round 1 is a tie. Round 2 is a tie. We both hit each other's shields. Round 3, I'm going for the left. He was also going for the left. It's also a tie, so I win the tournament. So I gain an influence and a soldier. Okay. I feel more comfortable that I have things that I can now use to protect my castle. That's okay, we're ignoring that one. I think I might build up 2 more levels of walls. So 2 craftsmen, 2 materials, the 2 more boxes on the wall strike. So that's 1 walls, another wall, and a might, which is a patron. So I get to build 2 pieces of wall. So the first one is going to be a level 1 in here. And now that I've got a level 1 in here, I can up that to level 2. Yep, it's starting to look a little bit better now, isn't it? Okay. Right. What we got left? We've got some materials, we've got some silver. We've got 4 patrons. Wow. Okay, well that actually opens up even more possibilities. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Right. We need to have a stop and I think. We need a glass of water. It's thirsty work, this, defending a castle in the 12th century. So 4 coming in from the north. I can protect that with a knight. That's done. 3 coming in from the south. I've got 1 wall and 1 soldier, so that's fine. 3 coming in from the east. I've got 2 walls, so I'm missing a soldier there. If I get a soldier there, in fact, no, hang on a minute. 3 coming in from the south. That's only 1. Okay, that goes there. I need 2 more strength here. If I've got 2 more strength here, I'm fine against those 3 cards. And we've already agreed that we're going to give up on that one. And I'm sure I can get that with what I've got here. Yeah, I can absolutely get that. Well, I could do that. I could do that. Oh, so many things to do. I'm going to spend a silver. I'm going to go on the top of the mercenaries track, which is a patron and a patron production. Look at all these patrons. 5 of them. And they're really only used here. I say that. You can use them for tactics. And my warfare is 3. So I could, but I think I might leave that till next time. Spies require money, and I haven't got any money because I've been spending it all on here. We'll come back to that later. What can this serf do? This serf could go off to either the quarry, forest, farms, or trading ground, but he's not going to have any immediate impact. He could also dig another level of moat. No, he can't because I need a large crane. Don't have a large crane yet, so I can't go any further on the moat track. The mint's all done, so that part of the game is all sorted. And we're going to need the white horse for here, which is a large stables. In order to get a large stables, we're going to need a governance of 6 in Warcraft. Not a governance of 6, a Warcraft of 6. And we can't do that because we don't have that. But we could probably get that by spending these shenanigans. And we could even have another tournament. Yes! Right, let's do that. So let's spend a patron to have level 3 entertainment, which gets us a food. And it also gets us a loyalty, which gets us another serf. Awesome. Right. Now that we've got 3... Oh, no, that's not enough for another serf. Oh, we need silver. Oh, I've just spotted that. Tournaments get more expensive to run. Rats. Rats. Okay, so... Don't. Oh. It's fine. It's fine. I spend 2 more patrons to go for 4 and then 5, and 5 gets us a silver. And 4 is brewing. So we've just gained some hops and some more dram. So we'll have that one and we'll have that one. Okay, we've not managed to complete a row or column yet, but now we have at least 4. We spend the food, we spend the silver, we have another tournament. This gets us 1 bravery, and it also gets us a knight. Okay, and then we're going to go jousting. So I'm attacking on the left. His shield is not on the left. He's attacking the right. My shield's on the right. So we both knock each other off our horses. Round 2. I'm going down the middle. Oh no! I've lost. His shield's in the middle, and he attacks me on the left. I've lost the tournament. So basically, you don't get the extra rewards. No. Okay, that's fine. Because now that can go there, and we're all good. I think we're all good. Now, I've still got these. So I kind of don't want to waste any resources, and we do have these materials, but I don't think I can do anything with these. I've never had a game where I've wasted anything before, but it might happen in this game. I mean, if I had a craftsman, I could build something, but I don't have a craftsman, and the only way to get a craftsman is here, which is a silver, and I don't have a silver. Can I get a silver from any of these tracks? No. I've got 2 patrons. I could go here. Oh, there's a craftsman. Ah, right, cool. So I spend 2 patrons. We go brewing beer, and again a craftsman. So we're brewing beer, hops, and the yellow stuff, yeast. So hops, we've brewed some beer. Huzzah. So you circle it, and then you cross it out when you use it. And we're going to go here. Okay, right. So now we have 1 craftsman and some materials, so we can build something. What are we going to build? We can't build the large stables yet. No, we can't. We could just build another wall, but we don't need the wall for this turn. But we might need it for next. Michaelmas and Valentine's. That's what the serfs can be used for. Yes, thank you. Let's do that now, because that actually will open something up. So you can send serfs to Michaelmas, but you need to have a measure of entertainment. So let's do it. Let's do the first level of Michaelmas, which costs a serf. And we get 2 cards. And we are looking for the numbers in the books. So we have a 7 and an 8. And then I can put those numbers wherever I want in here, but you're trying to get things to add up together. So I'm going to put the 7 here, which means I need to draw a 3 on a future card. And I'm going to put the 8 here, which means I need to draw a 4 on a future card. Okay, so it didn't do anything immediately, but because my measure of entertainment is at least 2, I can do it again. I can spend another serf to have another Michaelmas. I should have taken the Michaelmas card, shouldn't I? So 2 more cards. We've got the number 4 and the number 1. Okay, so the number 4 can go in here, which means we have gained 12. So we get any 2 resources, and I'm going to get 2 silver because I can definitely spend that. And then the 1, I'm actually going to try it. I'm going to put the 1 here. You basically need to get another 1 in order for them to add up to get to 2. So we've got 2 silver. And have we still got this? We've still got this craftsman and... Yeah, I think I have. I haven't used it yet. So the silver is going to be to research... Well, we need to research the battering ram for next round. So we're going to research the battering ram. Then... I can't build the battering ram because I need some more materials. I need 1 more materials. What did you need to build towers? Yeah, I could, but I haven't had any cards yet that are attacking my towers. So I could build a tower, and building the first tower is going to get me a patron, as is building the walls. And then that patron could go on somewhere else and get me some more bonuses. We could do that. But I'm tempted to leave it because we're all right for this turn. I don't know whether to build the walls or the towers yet, and we might get a scoring card that might lean us in one direction or another. So is there anything else I can build? It's either the walls, the towers, or the gate. And again, I don't need to build the gate up at the moment. If I had a scoring card for one of those things, it would be good. The only scoring card I've got is for completed chapel levels, and we've only built 1 chapel at the moment. We could build this, but we need to have a measure of worship of 5, and we don't have 5, so we can't build that yet. There's also ramparts. We could build a small keep. Is that going to get us anything? I mean, it might. Oh, it's tricky. I'll tell you what, you can't go wrong with walls. So we're just going to build some more walls. And I'm going to up that to level 2. Nope, I'm going to up that to level 2. There you go. That's up to level 2. And that got me a patron. Okay. And then that patron... I can build a wooden badger, can I? Oh, not ignoring the attack if I had extra stuff. Yeah, I kind of dismissed it, hadn't I? But if I could have somehow gained 3 materials, I could have built 3 covers. So we could do St. Valentine's Festival with this, but I think it might be a bit late in the day for that. We could train another night, but I don't think I need it for now. So I think this patron is probably best spent on a track that's going to do something for me. So let's have a worship, which gets me a loyalty. All right, and then we've got the silver, and we're going to spend the silver to go here, which gets me a surf, and then we're going to use the surf to go here, which doesn't do anything immediately, but that's fine. We're good. Oh, I do love a mental workout, and that's exactly what this game is. So, castle defense, pay food. It's round 3. Is it only round 3? So pay 3 food. Now we deploy our soldiers, knights, and craftsmen. Are we happy with that? Have I messed up? No, I think we're good. Right, now we do the attacks. So we have strength 4 coming in from this side, and I can use my moat, and my moat is 4. So I have successfully defended against the card, and because it's got a skull on it, I gain 1 bravery. Next, this card. I failed to defend against... Oh, you should have revealed it. Yeah, I failed to defend against that, so we're going to put it here. Then we're being attacked by 4 from the north. We have a knight, which is 2, and 2 walls. Successfully defended against. That was a strong attack. Gain another bravery, which gets me a soldier. That soldier, by the way, cannot be deployed immediately. And then the final escalade card, we got 3 from the south, which wounds the knight, and 3 from the side, which kills the soldier. But we successfully defended against that card. So the determination value for this round is 2. I had 1 card that I didn't defend against, so I only gain 1 loyalty, but I also gain 1 discontent, which is a circle. So we have 1 discontent. Remember, our goal is to have 2 or fewer. And then, do we have 3 strength points left? We do not. So that is it. That is the end of round 3. Okay, round 4. I think it's going all right. I don't know. I don't really know. How do you feel it's going? For those people who know the game, do you think I'm going to win? Remember, I need to get to 60 points. I've already built all of the mint, so that's that done. I need to keep an eye on my discontent. I need to get my loyalty and my influence to 15. Right. It's walls again. And round 4. Face up, face down, face up, face down. So we're going to have 2 face down cards. Yeah, the castle is lovely and tough. I'm doing fine. Thank you, Lynette. Lynette, how far have you played through the campaign? If you have played the campaign, how far did you get through it? Well, just remember, you can overpower the enemy castles. I forgot about that. In fact, I've taught this game twice to other people, and I completely forgot about that. It's in the video. It's in the how to play video. That's good. But yes, completely forgot to mention that. You can overwhelm the enemy defenses to get extra rewards. So face up, face down. Face up, face down. This is good. We have 2 moat cards. We are being attacked by 3 strength and 3 strength. So those 2 cards are effectively, I got lucky. I can ignore those. We're being attacked on the gate, and an attack on the gate with a battering ram is either a D or an E. So it's 4 or 4, and our gate is 3. So as long as we increase our gate by 1, that card's okay. This one, they're attacking one of the sides with ladders, which is either a 3 or a 4. So no, that's going to be the tricky one. I'm going to have to hire some spies to look at what this card is. That one's fine. And this one is going to be 3 from the north, 3 from the south. I just need to up my walls. Okay, you got 7 or 8 done in playtesting. It gets quite weird, does it? Okay, I look forward to weird. Right, we've done the cards. Path cards. Get 2. So completed leadership rows or constructed towers and gates. Well, I've not even started building my towers yet. However, I have almost completed 2 leadership rows. So I think I'm going to take that one. Right, resources and workers. So I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 serfs. I get 4 craftsmen. I get 4 materials. I get 2 patrons plus an extra 1, plus an extra 2. Okay. Silver. I get 6 again. That's awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I get 3 food. Not enough. 3 food and 2 soldiers. Right, off we go. What are we going to do? So to attack this, I need 2 food. Got that. Black horse. Got that. Battering ram. Don't have that, but can get that. Already researched it, so I spent 1 craftsman, 2 materials. We're going to build a battering ram, which gets me 1 might. And now, if I had 5 strength, I could attack that. I don't have 5 strength, so are we going to go and get ourselves some knights? Yes. Should we do some knight training? Knight training. Or not. Maybe we just buy them in from here and use my patrons to complete these rows. Yeah, let's do that instead. I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do another Michaelmas, because my entertainment is at 7. So we can do another Michaelmas. So we're looking for 2 cards. We're looking for numbers. We've got a 6 and a 4. So I'm going to put the 6 in there. Yeah, not ideal. I'm going to put the 4 in there. Okay, should we do that again? No, let's not do it. Come on, one more time. We'll do another Michaelmas. Another 2 cards. It's a 6 and a 2. Okay, well the 2. So the 6 is going to go here. And the 2 is going to go... So it's going to go there. So that means we gain 1 joy. So that's going to cancel out the discontent. And we're going to gain a resource and we'll gain food. Yeah. Okay. So, what's going on? What is going on? We got that, we got that, we got that, we don't have that. We need the knights. We said we were going to get the knights from here. So I'm going to spend 2 silver and we're going to go up this allies track here, which gets me 2 knights and a loyalty, which gets me a soldier. So 2 knights and a soldier. So that's 5. 2 food, black horse, battering ram, done. Boom. So we gain 4 bravery. Wowzers. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is a serf. We get 1 might. And we get 2 wood. 2 materials. Okay, castle has been defeated. It's the 4th one. There's only 1 more to go. That's going to be quite tough. We might not do that one, to be honest. Right, how's things looking here? We need some more walls. Yeah, so 2 craftsmen and 2 materials is going to up that to 2 and then up that to 3. Oh, I have to fill in the boxes, don't I? Box gets me 1 might, which is another craftsman. We talked about the gate as well, didn't we? Did you say the moat was okay? I think we said the moat was okay. Yeah, the moat's okay against that. That's a gate. And that card could be... It's a 4. So we're going to need another level of gates. So we'll do that. We'll spend the craftsman to build that, which ups the gate to 4. And also gets a might. Okay. So we're okay for that one. We're okay for that one. This is the worrying one because we don't know what this could be. So we're probably going to gain a spy. It's one of our objectives to gain spies anyway. Make sure you take the craftsman from the track. Which craftsman? Ooh, what have I missed? Craftsman from which track? What did I do? What did I do? So I did Michaelmas. That got me some resources. I got the food. I spent the food to do this. Yeah, I don't know which track. Was it the might track? I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. If I didn't take the craftsman from the might track, then I'll take it now. That must be the one you mean. Because I've gained a might when I defeated this enemy castle. And I also gained a might when I built 4th level of gate. So, yeah, hopefully that's correct. Thank you for spotting that. So, we're not okay against this one yet, but we have loads of soldiers. In fact, all I need is an extra 1, and then that's done. So, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. It's that one. Which is another wall level. So, that's now level 3. Which also gets me a patron. So we're okay for this. We got 3 and 3. We're good. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. It's just this one. So they're attacking 1 wall. We don't know which wall. It's with ladders. Ladders is either going to be a 3 or a 4. I could just put soldiers around it and pray. Get the right one. This is where the muster tokens come in handy. We don't have any muster tokens, or I use a spy. So let's use a spy. We need a measure of governance of 3, which we've got. We spend 1 silver to hire a first spy. The first spy is not very good, doesn't do anything. But now we're going to spend another silver to hire a second spy, which gets us 1 influence, which gets us a patron, and it gives us a knowledge, which we immediately spend to have a look at this card. We don't need to have a look at that one. Right, they're attacking the front, and it's A3, it's fine. So we're all good. We have successfully defended our card. This round felt a lot easier. And I've still got all of these stuff. Right. Well, let's just spend the stuff and do stuff. Food. That's what we don't have, but we're going to get the food. So this one's going to farming. That gets us 1 food and a food production. Okay, and then these 2 are also going off farming, which gets us another food production, and a loyalty. Food production is at the max, and that's enough food for this round. Okay, and that's one of those tracks completed, which is worth a point for this. So we're getting a point for this, we're getting a point for this, we're getting a point for this, and we're currently getting a point for this. I mean, you want to get 3 points from each of your cards, but it's quite difficult to do. But don't worry, we've still got time. We do still have plenty of time. Are we going to go for the large crane at some point? It all depends if we want to try and defeat this. I mean, it's 6 points. And if you don't defeat it, you get a discontent. So the game does lean you towards trying to do it. The benefits of doing so are normally really useful. Well, we've got all these patrons and we need to do something with them. So let's go up the worship track. So 2 of these gets us to 5 on the worship track, which gets us some food. We don't need that food, so we spend that food and a silver, and we're going to have another tournament, because we can. So we gain a bravery. Gaining a bravery gains us a loyalty. We also gain a knight. And we're going jousting again. So I'm in the middle. He doesn't defend. He's on the left and my shield's on defend. Yes. We won the tournament. Huzzah! That gets us that. It gets us a soldier. And it gets us an influence. We are close to getting our 15. Right. Happy with that. Don't need any more food. Do not need any more food. So, kind of don't want to go there because that gets us a craftsman. We can't really do anything with the craftsman unless you've got materials. We've not really gone for it with the tactics, have we? We haven't really been doing this, apart from when we cheated in round 1. We've only got 1 silver left. What did we do with it all? I can't remember what we did with all of our silver. Okay, so, I mean, we're going to get points for going up these tracks. So we can spend 4 patrons, go 2 more up the worship, which gives us a craftsman, and 2 more up the warcraft, which gives us a materials. So we now have a craftsman with some materials, which means we can build something. So we can build the medium chapel, because we have a small crane. Yeah, so we'll build the medium chapel. That gets us another influence. And now that we've built the medium chapel, we can now start putting stuff in it. But we don't need to yet. I'm tempted to actually pay for something that we might be able to use this round, but I don't know whether there is. Moat. We can't dig any more of the moat until we have a large crane. We can research the large crane, but we can't build a large crane this turn. So again, we got loads of these. What are we going to do with them? Because they're not needed for this. We've gone overboard again. This is where probably could have calculated this a bit better and used some of these soldiers to overwhelm the enemy, which would have got us an extra bonus. Yes. Martin's popped in. Nope. We haven't. You haven't missed the whole stream. It is a long game. It's not a short game, but it's so thinky, and it's, yeah. There's no downtime because you're always thinking about stuff. So, what are we going to do with all of these peoples? So what can I do with the silver? What's looking good here? Nothing. I can't get to an end point. That's a shame. I've no patrons left. I've no craftsmen left, so I can't do that. I've got a knight, so I could do another tactics thing, because I don't need the knight. I would be taking a bit of a gamble on which of these I might need in future, because these are not worth any points to me. I could do another Michaelmas, because I'm at 7. Let's do another Michaelmas. Okay, 2 more cards. It's a number 3 and number 3. Aha! Right, so we can put a number 3 in there. That gets us a resource and a joy. So we've gained a joy. And we get a resource. So I'll have... Sure, I'll have the wood. Right, that was the number 3. And now we've got another number 3. Where can I put that? I need 1s. I need 1s and 2s, so I'm going to put it there. So this top box can have any 2 numbers, and you get a resource when you fill it. Okay, I can do one more Michaelmas when I get to entertainment level 9, but that's it for now. Okay, so what are we going to do next? We've got soldiers, we've got this and this. I might just put these in the medium chapel, because I can't... I mean, I could get another patron, but I don't need it. That's the thing. That patron's not going to get me anything right now. I think we're good. Muster tokens. Do we need muster tokens? No, because I've used spies to see what they are. So I think we're good. I'm going to put the materials and the silver inside the medium chapel. So, and remember, these can be filled in any order, and then you get the benefit when it's all filled in. That's it. That is the end of the action phase. So we need to pay our 4 food for the end of round 4. We need to deploy our workers, but unless I've completely messed this up, I think we're okay. But I'm just going to dot them around just in case. And now we reveal the cards. And then we go through the attacks. So we have an attack of 4 coming at the gate. The gate has 4. So that's fine. Then we have 4 coming in from the side, and we can use our moat. And our moat is... Oh, in fact, it's only 3. 3. So that's okay. Then we have 4. No, 3. 3 coming at the front. We can use our walls. Our wall is 3. Then we've got 3 coming in the top, and we can use our moat. So that's okay. And then we have 3 coming in the bottom and 3 coming in the top. And that's okay. That's how you do it. Which means all of these retire, and I actually gain 2 serfs for next round. Okay, so the determination value for this round is 3. We got rid of all of the cards, which means we get 3 loyalty. 1, 2, 3, which gets us a serf. We are going into the last round. Yes, we are going into the last round. So, I'm exhausted. I don't know about you. I need to lie down after this. It's been thoroughly enjoyable. Just before we go into the last round, I just wanted to mention what I said at the start. This is not a sponsored playthrough video. I've basically taken the afternoon from doing off paid work in order to produce this video. This is the second of 9 or 10 live streams over the next few days, none of which are paid for, and all of that is only possible thanks to the support of the Patreon campaign. So if you are watching this video and you like the content that I make and you want to support me and allow me to carry on doing this, then you can do so by becoming one of my Patreon supporters at patreon.com/gaming rules. If you are a Patreon supporter, you get exclusive access to the Slack community, which is a great community of people discussing a whole variety of topics, some of them board game related. You get access to the giveaways. I'm doing a whole series of giveaways at the moment where I'm just picking random Patreon supporters and sending them games that I've got from my collection. And you get to vote on what games I'm going to be playing at various points through the month and through the year. And you get exclusive access to additional bonus videos. So some of the videos that I'm doing on Saturday and Sunday won't be public. Some of them will be, but some of them will be private for Patreon supporters only. So yeah, thank you very much if you decide to become a Patreon supporter. Right, round 5. Let's have some cards. Final Escalade card. It's walls again. I'm just going to check these cards. Is it always walls? It is. Right, so that's something. Next time I teach it, I will say, look, the Final Escalade cards are always ladders, and they are always walls, and they are always rocks. I didn't know that, but now I do. Okay, this is the big one. We're going to have 5 cards attacking us. 2 of them are going to be face down, but it is in our interest to recruit some spies because we're going to get points for recruiting spies. Okay, are we ready? First card. It's an attack of strength 5 from the front, and we can only use walls. The next card is face down, and who knows where it's coming from. The next card is face up. We can use our moat. It is strength 4, so that's fine. We can ignore that one. Next one is face down. That's an attack on the gate. And that is going to be either D or A. It could be 5. Could be 5, could be 4. And then the last one is face up. Oh, boy. That's an attack of 3, 3, and 4, but I can use my walls. So as long as I up that wall by 2, we're all good. Final path cards. We have the Priest, which is for pairs of people in St. Valentine's Festival. I've not done that whatsoever. So I will be doing the other one, which is Champion, which is tournaments won. And I have currently won 3 tournaments, so that's already worth 2 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4 serfs, plus an extra 2. Surftastic. Look at them all. They could make like a human pyramid. Craftsmen, 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Materials, 1, 2, 3 materials. I've not done well at the material production. Patrons, we get 6 of the little fellas. Look at them all. Then we got silver. I don't get any silver for the card, but I do get 4 silver from my mint. We get 5 food, which is just enough for this round. It is not enough to attack the enemy castle, though. So 5 food, and I get 2 soldiers. Right, so decision time. Do we attack the enemy castle? It's worth 6 points, but I'm going to need to build the large stables, which I can't yet because I don't have 6 warcraft. But I can get 6 warcraft, then I can build the large stables, then I can put 2 serfs in it, 3 serfs in it, then it'll be complete, then we've got the white horse. Done. 2 food. I could spend the 2 food and just soak up the discontent, but I'm going to get a food back for defeating the enemy castle. That's not too bad. We also need a trebuchet. So to build the trebuchet, we need 2 craftsmen and 2 materials. But we need to have researched it, and in order to research it, we need to have researched the large crane, but you can't build the trebuchet until you've built a large crane. Yeah. Are we going to be able to do that? I don't know. I'm confident we can because of all these serfs. So let's do it. First thing, patron. Have I missed anything? Have I missed anything? Food is sorted. Yes. Oh, yes, because I'm going to get some from there. Thank you. So that's done. That's done. We've now got 6 warcraft. We're going to use a craftsman and some materials to build the large crane. Sorry, build the large stables, which gets us an influence, which gets me a craftsman. Then we are going to spend 3 serfs to populate the large stables. So we get a food, a silver, and a knight, and we have a white horse. So food, silver, knight, white horse. That's that requirement done. There's the 2 food. That's that requirement done. Next, the trebuchet. So we need to spend a silver to research the large crane. Then we need to spend another silver to research the trebuchet. Then we need to spend a craftsman and a materials to build the large crane. To do that, you need to have built the small crane. That gets us another serf. And then we're going to spend... So we spend a serf and another serf to go to the forest to increase our materials production. Not that it matters. And it gains us a materials. Then we spend 2 craftsmen and 2 materials to build the trebuchet, which gets us a soldier and a mite. Soldier and a mite. Okay, we've got everything. So we now need 6 strength. I'm going to need another knight. I can smell burning. I hope it's not the house. I'm just going to check out the window. It could be that somebody's got a fire going. Yeah, I hope it's not the house. I'll see if it gets any worse. I might need to just pop downstairs and make sure the house is not on fire. Where were we? Trebuchet. Yes, so we built the trebuchet and strength. We need to get the 6 strength and possibly more if we want to overwhelm it. So we could train a knight. Well, we've not really done that yet, have we? It's either a knight or a tournament. Aren't we getting... Yes, if we win 4 tournaments, we get another victory point. Let's have another tournament. Food. Yeah, okay, I'll pop to take a look. Back in a minute, unless the house is burning down. Loki, you've been up to something? Right, good news. I've walked around the house and the smell is just coming from this room. And this room isn't on fire. So, yeah, it'll be somebody outside with something. So, we were trying to get the strength that we needed for this. So, we were going to do that through a knight. And I decided, I think, that I was going to do another tournament. Problem is, the tournament is going to cost us a food. The only other way for us to get food right now, because we've filled all of the farms, we've filled the stables, is Michaelmas. And I can get another food from Michaelmas if I really wanted to. The advantage of doing another tournament is if I win, well, it's 2 points anyway. It's 2 points and it gets me the knight. But if I win, that would be a 4th win, which is an extra point from this, as well as the extra point from that. So it's if it's worth it. I'm going to do it. So that food is currently here. I haven't actually spent it yet. So 1 food, 2 money. That's 2 money. Sure. 1 food, 2 money. Tournament time. So I gain a might. No, I gain a bravery. Gain a bravery. Gain an influence. That is our 15 influence. I gain a knight. And we have 2 cards. So the final tournament of the game. My lance is in the middle. His shield is not in the middle. His lance is on the left. My shield is on the left. Huzzah! We win the tournament. Some stuff. So I gain this. So I gain a might, which gains me a patron. I also gain a soldier. And I gain a joy. I got way too much joy. I've got 2 joy. So I can soak up 2 discontent and I'm still fine. Right, that was good. So we've got this going off, this going off. 2 food. We've got the white horse. We've got the trebuchet. And we've got this going off. Now, I might decide to put more in. So I'm not going to do that yet. Because if we can put more in, we can overwhelm it and we can get more stuff. Back to our castle. 3 coming in from the south, we can use our walls. Okay, done. 4 coming in from the west and we can use our walls. Not done. Can't use any tactics against this. We can use soldiers. So we're all right. Coming in from the top, we got 3. That one... Oh, spies. We're going to get spies. Oh, no. I need money. How can I get the extra money? Right. I'm going to spend 2 patrons to complete this track. So the worship track is completed. That gets us a loyalty, which gets me a soldier and gets me a coin. I'm then going to spend those 2 coins on hiring these 2 spies. So that second spy gets me an influence, which gets me a might, but it gives me 2 knowledge. I then use that 2 knowledge immediately to have a look at these cards. So we kind of know what that one is. Right, that's good to know. We have 5 strength coming in from the top. Now, these walls only going up to 4. So I'm going to have to build it up to 4 and put a soldier, or just put 2 soldiers. Problem is, I've run out of materials. The good news is that that's 2 leadership rows completed. And if I can complete a 3rd one, that's 3 points. No benefit for completing 4. I've never completed all 4. And I tell you what, I am 1 patron short of completing all 4 leadership rows. Yeah, which I've never done. That would be awesome. I've also not built any towers in the whole game just because of the way the cards have come out. So, we've still got all of these. We've still got all of these serfs. So we could do Michaelmas again. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, let's finish off the entertainment row. So this is going to get us 1 loyalty. So that's the 15. Objective met. It's going to get us another serf. And it's going to get us 3 lots of brewing beer. Well, this is going to be a bit silly now. So we have some yeast and some dram. So we'll go for that there and that there. And then my second one is going to be some water and some water. So we'll go for that one and that one. Still only made 1 beer. And then the last one is dram and yeast. Oh, well, that can be that, which is that, and that. Yeah, okay, so we've brewed 2 beer. Not that we've used the beer yet, but that's that done. Why did I want to do that? So that I could then do that. That was it. So Michaelmas for the last time. 2 cards and we're looking at numbers. I'd like a number 1 and a 2, please. There's a 5. That's not a 1 or a 2. That's a 5. Rubbish. Okay, so what can I do with this? Nothing. Okay, I can fill that with a 5, which gets us 1 resource. What was that 1 resource going to be? I can't remember. I'll come back to that in a minute. The other 5... No, I'm just going to put it there. Okay, so we've got a resource for Michaelmas. Somebody remind me what it was I wanted. Food. Thank you. So we don't get any discontent. Although, I'm not that bothered about discontent. Because I've got 2 joy. So I can afford to not feed my 2 people. And I'm still okay. So I might take the materials. Because if I take the materials, I can then use the craftsman to build something. Yeah. Like walls. I think I'm going to be fine. I think I've managed to protect myself for most of this stuff. Because I do have some soldiers. We don't need the moat dug any deeper. So I'm really not sure what to do. I tell you what, screw it. We'll take the food. Right. We still haven't decided what we're doing here yet. So, serfs. What are we using these serfs for? Here. Yeah. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can I complete another one of these rows? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, definitely not. But we could go to the training grounds and get some more soldiers. We could go to the quarry and forest. Yeah, let's do that. So let's spend 2 of those. That's how we're getting the materials. We then spend the craftsmen and the materials, and we are going to build. We're going to do this, which is walls to 3, and also gets 1 might, which also gets 1 bravery, which also gets 1 soldier. $11, is that right? Yes, 11. Done it right. Okay, so we're out of materials. Let's just go through this. So we've got 3 coming in from the south, done. 4 coming in from the side would be done. 3 coming in from the north would be done. That one, 4 coming in, hitting the gate, done. 4 coming in from the side using the moat, done. 5 coming in from the north, done. 5 coming in from the south. Oh, give one of them a beer. Beer means that they basically fight with 2 strength. 5 coming in from the south, which is that, with the other beer. So that's that done. And then 4 from the north, 4 from the south. So we need another level of walls or some rocks. Okay, so we're slightly short on the whole soldiery thing. But that's fine, because we can train a knight. So we've not done this yet, but let's do it. Oh, chapel. Hang on. That's why I needed the food. For the chapel. Oh, rats. Okay, so I need to slightly undo. I'm going to spend those 2 for the wood. So I will take the food from there, and then I'll spend the food on the chapel. Not completely about that. That is a patron production, and an influence. Patron, influence. Right, okay. Medium chapel is done. That means we're getting 2 points for the abbot. Okay. So, we've still got 3 patrons left. I've done it. I've only gone and done it. I've completed all 4 leadership rows. That, if I do say so myself, is pretty amazing. So I get a craftsman, I get a knight, I actually get a knight production, and I also, what was that? It was an influence. Influence gets me another patron. Oh, coming out my ears. And that's fine, because now I can train that one. It's either St. Valentine's Festival, and there's no point doing that with only 1. So we're going to train that knight. So train that patron into a knight, and then we get 2 cards. We're looking at the top row. I've gained 2 different symbols, which means I gain a soldier. Awesome. Right. What's happening with all of this stuff? We've got spare people coming out my ears. And I don't think I need any of this. I think this is all okay. So let's send the 2 knights here. So we overwhelm it. And when you overwhelm it by 4, I can choose a bravery, or a patron, or a craftsman. But I might as well go for a bravery, because that's an extra point. So now we're going to attack the castle. Spent the 2 food, got the stuff, got the stuff, got the stuff. Yes, done. So I gain 5 bravery. Maxed out the row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I haven't. There was an influence in there. Okay, 1 bravery left. And I gain 2 might, which gets me a craftsman. And I get a food. And I get a silver. Oh, what are my thoughts on the White Castle expansion? We'll just concentrate on this game for now. But to be honest, that video was last night. If you go to the end of last night's video, we have a round the table discussion where we all share our thoughts on the White Castle expansion. So rather than me repeating them here, just go to last night's video, scrub forward to the end, and we share our full thoughts on the White Castle expansion last night. Okay, so did I attack the castle? I did. I just attacked the castle. That's what I've just done. So that's all now done, and I overwhelmed it now that I remember that rule, and that was all of that. Okay, so we've still got this left, and I'm not sure what I can do with all of this stuff. I can't build the large chapel, can I? No. I mean, that's a pipe dream. I could spend that food and that's... No. What am I going to do with all these? Can we build the moat? I mean, we can. Okay, I don't need these. So let's go digging the moat. So that one to go there, that one to go there. That gets us a material. And the moat goes up to 5. Not that we need it, but the moat is 5. Now, look at what we've got. We have a craftsman and we have materials. So with this, I can build something. Now, building the small keep is a point. Building the large chapel is a point. I could build the large chapel. I wouldn't be able to populate it, but it's still a point for building it. Is there anything else that I need to build that's actually going to get me anything? I don't think there is. Now, the question is, yeah, we're just going to build it. We're going to build the large chapel, which gets me an influence, which gets me a bravery, which gets me a might. So actually, that was a 3-point move. And I am just short. I mean, okay, here's a weird thing. I could convert that 2 food into a materials and that 2 food into a... No, you can't convert food into a patron. I need a patron. How do I get a patron? I had loads of patrons earlier on. Now I need one. No, I don't need a patron. I need a food, a materials, and a silver. Right, so there's the food. There's the silver. I convert those 2 into a materials. And we fill the large chapel. Now that is actually going to get me an extra point from the influence and an extra point from my abbot. But I'm going to gain 3 discontent. Now I've already got 2 joy, so that would only be 1 discontent. 1 discontent is minus 1 point, and that's still a victory. I think it's worth it. But if I didn't do that, what would I do with that? What can I do with 1 silver that would actually get me any points? I don't think there is anything, and that's why... Oh, spies. How many spies do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 spies, and you need 5 to get 3 victory points. So I could just buy the 5th spy. There you go. That's easier. I buy the 5th spy. That's a victory point. Is the final Escalade card defended? I blooming hope so. Oh, I shouldn't have flipped that over yet, should I? It's 4 from the south and 4 from the north. I mean, tell you what, I've got these spare. So, yeah, it might not be. I might have completely messed up because it's got to that point of the game where I'm now a bit frazzled. But let's go for it. Let's go for it and see if I've worked it out. Off we go. Reveal the cards. The cards are all revealed. So this one, we have 3 from the south, walls, done. 3 from the north, walls, done. 4 from the west. So I use a... No, I don't need to use the beer. No, we just use that and that's it. So that one is done and I gain a bravery. I can't have a bravery because my bravery's at the max. So that's done. So actually, I didn't need to do that. I didn't need to gain the bravery there because I was going to gain 3 bravery from these cards. So anyway, over-regged it. This one, there is 4 strength coming in, hitting the gate. The gate is 4 strength. Done. Next one, 4 strength coming in from this side. I can use the moat. The moat is 5. Done. This one, 5 coming in from the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the beer, which means this acts as if it was strength 2 and protects. And again, I gain a bravery, but I can't get a bravery. And then here we have 5 strength coming in from the south. I use the other one, the other beer. Done. Then the final Escalade card, 4 from the top, 4 from the bottom, is that and that. There you go. I think we've only gone and done it. So The determination value for this round is 4. I gain 4 loyalty. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is an influence. Right, should we do the final scores? So, that's 24. So I got 24 from my bravery. I got 19 from my loyalty. I got 21 from my influence. And I got 19 from my might. My path cards. So completed quarry and forest, farms and training ground. One of those. 1 point. Spies. I got 5 spies in the end. Chinese 5 spies. So that's 1 plus another 3, that's 4. Completed chapel levels. Only did that one. That's 4, 5, 6. Leadership rows. Boom. 9. Tournaments won. 12. 12 from path cards. Oh, I should have spent the food. 12 from path cards. Discontent 0. Which means I scored 24, 43, 44, 64, 83, 85, 95. Wow. Okay. I mean, I have played the game a couple of times before, but 95. I think I did well. Thanks to the help of people in the chat. Only got 3 spies. No. Each box is a spy, because otherwise you'd never get more than 3. And the card is either 1, 3, or 5. So there are 2 spies in each level. It's got to be that, because the card says 1, 3, or 5 spies. Unless I've completely misunderstood the spies card. What was it called? Where was the scoring card? I've lost the scoring cards. There. It's called Scout. Scout is, score spies gained. It doesn't matter if the knowledge of spies has been used or not. Each look is a spy. You got 3 looks. Oh. Okay, so I only got 94. That's interesting. I didn't realise that. I thought each box you filled in, because you have to pay for it. So you fill boxes on the spies track. The first box is always no reward, but the second one rewards you with 1 influence and 1 or 2 knowledge. Yeah, I don't think that's clear. I have to double check with that one. It doesn't say that the knowledge. It doesn't say each knowledge is a spy. It just says number of spies, unless there's something we've missed. But anyway, if you look at a blank sheet, you can see the rewards. Yes, I see that, but I question whether that is a spy or that is a spy. But anyway, I can double check that and I can let you know. Either way, we got 94 or 95. So let's go through what the objectives were. We were trying to construct and complete all of the mint levels. We did that early. We needed to have 15 loyalty and 15 influence. We did that. We need to have 0 to 2 discontent, and we needed to have 60 victory points. We absolutely smashed it. We did slightly cheat on round 1, but that's fine. So that's it. That is campaign chapter 1 done. And the bonus reward, because we met the goal, is that we start the next game with 1 soldier and 1 silver. And then you would play chapter 2. Now, chapter 2 is very, very different cards. I'm just going to have a quick look at them because I've never seen these cards before. So let's put this on here and let's just do a sneaky look at what chapter 2 would be. So it uses cards 41, 42, 43, 44 and 45. And it looks like this is a siege scenario? I don't know. Oh no, you still need to defeat them, but it's not castles. You're defeating an army. So you just need to spend food and 4 strength. You don't need the things. It's only here where you need to start having the stuff for here. So you need a horse to get there, and then you need a horse and catapults to get there, and then you need a white horse and siege towers to get there. Okay, so that's the big one. You remove the rival tent. You don't put any plunder tiles on the leftmost 3 spaces. Your objective is to defeat all armies and castles. So you need to do all 5 cards. You need to have 0 to 3 discontent and get 70 points. So yeah, and 20 chapters. That's going to keep you busy for quite a while. Right, we are all done. We're not doing chapter 2 now because it's 4:30. So thank you very much to everybody for watching. Thank you very much to everybody for keeping me company. And hello to everybody who has been watching back afterwards. Tonight, if you're interested, I am doing a playthrough of SETI. Now, SETI is a hot game at the moment because CGE have just announced an expansion set. It's a complete coincidence that we're playing it tonight. Basically, 2 friends are coming over tonight, Rob and Chris. We were talking about what game we were going to play. I really fancied playing SETI again. Neither of them have played SETI and both wanted to. So we decided we were going to play SETI. Now, again, tonight's video is not going to be sponsored, but I have a very good relationship with Czech Games Edition. And I contacted them and I said, would you be able to do a giveaway where you can give away a copy of the game? And they said, well, when are you doing the playthrough? And I said, I'm doing the playthrough this Friday. They said, oh, well, we're about to announce the expansion. I was like, oh, well, that's good timing. So tonight at 8 o'clock on this channel, on this table, we will be doing a 3-player playthrough of SETI. And if you watch the video, you will be able to win a copy of SETI. Not the expansion, because that's not out yet. But yes, somebody who's watching the video, I mean, you don't need to watch it live, so don't worry. If you can't watch it live, the contest is going to be open for another 3 weeks. But essentially, you need to watch the video, fill in a form, answer some questions, and as a special reward for my Patreon supporters, if you are a Patreon supporter, you get double entries into the hat. So if you get all of the questions right, you'll get 6 tickets into the hat instead of 3. So there's 3 questions which you just need to answer, and yeah, that's happening tonight. So I'm going to pack this up now. I'm going to go downstairs for a bit of a cat cuddle and a lie down because that's really hard work. What do I think of the game? Bearing in mind, Garfield Games did sponsor me to create the how to play video for the game. So just bear that in mind when you are listening to my opinion of this game. I think this game is fantastic. I absolutely love it. And I will be honest with you, it is at the upper limit of what I can cope with as a solo game. There is a lot of, and if you've never seen this game being played before, you might be thinking, oh my God, this is totally overwhelming. He did that, and that did that, and then he did that, and then he got some things, and then he spent the things to do that, and he did that. Yeah, your first game of it is going to be a little bit like that. I had already played Hadrian's Wall, so I already had a good grasp on how the core mechanisms work, but this is different. It does play very, very differently. What I will say about Hadrian's Wall, it is a very popular game, and I do like Hadrian's Wall, but I will never play Hadrian's Wall again. In my opinion, this game is superior to Hadrian's Wall in a number of different ways, and I much, much prefer this one. The whole bit with the castle and the way that it's attacked, it's like a little puzzle game, and I love puzzle games. So being able to work out how you're going to defend your castle, what tactics you need, what fortifications you need, the fact that some of the cards are face down, and in the multiplayer game, you can use your spies to spy on other players, to flip their cards over, to give them a benefit, but you get a benefit for helping them out. So yeah, I love that part of the game. The fact that there's 2 main ways to play the game. There is the side which we saw today where you're attacking enemy castles. The other side doesn't have enemy castles to attack, but the cards that come out, the numbers on them are a lot bigger. So if we were playing a siege scenario today, instead of the numbers being 3, 4, and 5, those numbers would be 4, 5, and 6. And suddenly, the defense of your own castle is a lot harder than it would be. But that's because you're using all of your soldiers and knights not to attack other castles, but to protect your own castle. And you can scale the difficulty as well. So even if you're playing solo or if you're playing with other players, there are 3 different levels of difficulty, which basically mean different cards. This is the pack of scenario cards that come with the game. And essentially the harder versions of the scenarios, they're just bigger numbers, is what they are. They're bigger numbers, and the enemy castles are harder to attack as well. So yeah, even once you've played the game a few times, like if I played this solo now, I wouldn't play on the easy mode. I would be playing on the next difficulty up. Anyway, we are all done. Again, thank you very much for watching. I will see some of you tonight. Next time. Bye-byes.